What's going on, Stim Junkies? High Stim Ace here. Hope you guys are having an amazing weekend. Today I'm going to be reviewing a pre-workout that I've actually had in my possession for well over a month, probably about a month and a half at this point, but you know how it is. You're backed up constantly. If I were to show you guys the desk that I have on here, I kid you not, I probably have like 40 or 50 tubs on here. I'm not even exaggerating, guys. Maybe one day I'll give you guys a sneak peek. You know where to find me if you ever want to get sneak peeks on anything going on in the life of High Stim Ace. Follow me on Instagram at High Stim Ace, and sometimes I give you these little behind the scenes, these little sneak peeks, and you get to see a whole lot more of High Stim Ace. So definitely follow me on there if you're not yet. With that being said, today we are reviewing Holy Energy by OMMI. From what I understand, this brand used to go under a different name. They are rebranded, and this here is actually a pretty crazy label, especially considering that the price tag is a measly 35 bucks. That's right, guys, $35, and it's going to come out to even less if you guys use my discount code, which I will, of course, provide you with in the end of the video. So without further ado, let's go over the Holy Energy pre-workout by OMMI, and let's get to it. All right, guys, so looking at the tub here, I really dig the design, and they are telling you authentic flavors, real results, fully dosed formula, no proprietary blends, clinical dose, full transparency, 387.5 milligrams of caffeine yield per scoop, and they're telling you a little bit more about what's in here, right? They're giving you like a little sneak peek. That's not the entire label, but as you can see, the tub is very cool. It's very aesthetic. It's very sharp. It kind of pops. There's no crazy graphics on here, but it looks very professional. And there you do have the label, which we are going to be going over in just one moment. Now, the flavor I got here is the Raspberry Rita flavor, and I think it's the only flavor as far as I know. Maybe they have more on the way, but this is the one that I got, and I'm not even exaggerating when I tell you that this here is probably one of the tastiest pre-workouts I ever had. Nay, scratch that. This is one of the best beverages I ever had. If this didn't have stimulants in it, if this was merely a pump formula, I would be drinking this thing regularly just for the hell of it. This tastes so freaking good. There is zero synthetic artificial flavor in here. It's a nice, sweet, but not overly sweet raspberry flavor with a nice lemonade background. This thing's delicious. I swear to God, this is like something I would be drinking over by a family member's house. You know, like a freshly made lemonade with a little bit of raspberry extract. This thing is freaking next level ridiculous. This is delicious, guys. But unfortunately for me, there are stimulants in here, which means I can't be sipping on this regularly. Or maybe I can. After all, I'm High Stim Ace. So now that we have the flavor out of the way, let's go over this label. And this is just 1 scoop per serving, 20 servings per container. Comes in at 25.2 grams, and the scooper is a little bit heavy, coming in at about 26 grams, something like that. So nothing too crazy, guys. But either way, always make sure to weigh out your pre-workouts, your stimulants, whatever you're using. You guys are about to shell $35 on a pre-workout. You might as well grab yourself a digital kitchen scale for 12 bucks, which, by the way, is going to be worth its weight in gold because you're going to utilize it so much for pre-workouts, for food, if you guys are into counting your macros. I mean, it's an investment. It's a no-brainer, guys. You should definitely have a kitchen scale. But with that being said, we are going to begin with the label here. We got chloride as pink Himalayan salt, 290 milligrams, and sodium as pink Himalayan salt, 195 milligrams. So some miscellaneous ingredients in here, some vitamins, if you will. And we're going to begin now with L-citrulline malate, 2-to-1 ratio, 8,000 milligrams. So a respectable dose. You're going to be getting 6 grams of pure L-citrulline, 2 grams of malic acid, which I am fine with. I don't mind malic acid. As a matter of fact, sometimes I actually prefer citrulline malate. I feel like it kind of activates the citrulline a little bit faster, a little bit more efficiently. And me personally, I get better pumps on citrulline malate, provided that it's dosed properly. We have beta-alanine coming in at 3,200 milligrams, the clinical dose for the tingles, betaine anhydrous 2,500 milligrams for the strength output, the strength in the gym, the energy, and we have glycerol coming in next as hydroprime, 2,000 milligrams to give you that extra watery, puffy look in your muscles while you're pumped up in the gym. And that's a solid dose, especially in powder format. L-tyrosine 2,000 milligrams for focus, L-taurine 1,000 milligrams, N-acetyl L-carnitine hydrochloride 1,000 milligrams, alpha-GPC 50% yield 600 milligrams to help with cognition and a little bit of extra brain function. Theobromine 500 milligrams, big dose of theobromine. You usually see around 200, maybe 300. I know that Apollo Nutrition likes to overdose that theobromine, but this here, 500 milligrams, very solid dose. It's going to work well with that caffeine anhydrous. Pink Himalayan sold 500 milligrams for additional pumps. Caffeine anhydrous, 300 milligrams. I like that. That's a solid dose. And this here, so far, is reading like a high-end daily, something that I could take regularly without worrying about building up a tolerance. But hold your horses, guys. We haven't gone through the label yet. Juniper berry extract, 200 milligrams. There is a debate in the industry whether it does anything or not. I'm not a chemist, guys. I don't know if this directly does anything or not, but a lot of products I know from insane labs utilize juniper berry extract, and they all slap. Citrus aurantium extract, which is 30% synephrine yield, 200 milligrams. So I flunked math, guys. 30% of 200. Make of that what you will. Ask ChatGPT, ask Google, but that's how much synephrine you're going to be getting in here. Dicaffeine malate coming in as Infinergy, 100 milligrams. Caffeine citrate, 25 milligrams. Relatively low dose, but I'll take it, guys. Remember, it's $35 for this pre-workout, okay? You're getting 20 genuine servings in here, and this label is actually pretty freaking stacked. And speaking of stacked, we got Alpha Yo coming in next, Rewolfia, 2.5 milligrams. So a pretty high dose of Alpha Yo, but as you guys know, it's all about the sourcing. 2.5 may not necessarily feel like 2.5, or in the other extreme case, 2.5 can feel like 3.5. So it really depends on the sourcing. We're going to talk about it. Lastly, we got Huperzine A coming in at 200 micrograms. Before I break down my experience running the Holy Energy pre-workout from OMMI 3 times over the last 2 weeks, don't forget to like this video, comment below, share the channel with a fellow stim junkie or a pre-workout enthusiast, and don't forget to subscribe if you haven't yet. Okay, guys, so what can High Stim Ace possibly say about Holy Energy by OMMI? Now, this pre-workout here, as you guys saw, the label is pretty stacked. It doesn't have anything illicit in here. There's no gray area stimulants, nothing like that, but it's definitely got more than a typical daily driver. If you guys have been following the channel, you know that I dropped the Apollon Gym Classic review about a week and a half ago, and that to me is a perfect daily driver. It's got all the core essentials without any extras in there. So if you ever want to stack anything like some, gray area stimulants or a little Alpha Yo or some non-stim fat burners, that is the perfect daily driver core pre-workout to do it with. Now this one here, guys, you're getting a lot of the efficacious dosages, right? You're getting the betaine, you're getting the beta-alanine, you got a good dose of caffeine in here. You pretty much have everything in here that you need to get in a good workout, but there is a little bit of extras. The theobromine at 500 milligrams is a pretty big dose, nothing to scoff at. It's definitely going to add to that energy and stimulation. And you got 2.5 milligrams of Alpha Yo, which, certain people are sensitive to Alpha Yo. They can only tolerate 1 or 1.5. So they're going to hear 2.5 and they're going to go running for the hills. Hold your horses, guys, because the Alpha Yo in here is nothing to be scared of. This isn't like that crazy Alpha Yo that you get with insane labs, psychotic products, or something like an Edge of Insanity, or even the one pre-workout I reviewed recently known as Void. Those have that crazy Alpha Yo buzz that really has you hopped up, and dare I say, a little bit high in its own kind of way. It's different than anything too amino-based, but that Alpha Yo from those specific products has you really hopped up. That is not the case here. This pre-workout is very, very clean. There's no illicit feeling to it. There's no crazy tunnel vision. There's no, up the wazoo kind of energy that has you all hopped up and jittery. Nothing like that. This is actually a very smooth but concentrated kind of experience. And what I mean by that is that 10 minutes after taking the drink, you're going to feel the slight beta tingles, nothing too crazy, but definitely there letting you know that it's go time. And the first thing you're going to notice is the caffeine anhydrous and the theobromine coming in and really giving you that initial burst of energy. So on evenings where you're a little tired, or you're a little out of it, you had a long day at work, whatever it may be, or maybe on a day where you're just not super motivated, this is the kind of pre-workout that's going to give you that initial nudge. It's going to push you in the right direction. And then once you actually start warming up and pumping the iron, everything else is going to come together. The alpha GPC, although a little bit low of a dose, you're going to feel a nice nootropic sense of well-being, a little bit of that floaty head high, but not in an illicit sense. Now, at the 30-minute mark is when the Alpha Yo starts coming in, and you're going to start sweating a little bit, not excessively, but you do have the synephrine in there, however much synephrine's in there, And with that 2.5 milligrams of Alpha Yo, it's really going to give you a little bit of that extra stimulation, a little bit of that burn to get you going in the gym. Now, I gotta say, as somebody who takes Alpha Yo regularly, and my body's pretty well aware and in tune with these products and these particular stimulants, to me, this one doesn't feel like 2.5 milligrams of legitimate Alpha Yo. I would say this feels more in the ballpark of like maybe 1.5 milligrams of Alpha Yo. It's there. It's noticeable. It definitely gives a nice boost to go with that caffeine and theobromine. But in terms of this being an Alpha Yo pre-workout, it's not that kind of pre-workout. This is like I said earlier, a concentrated kind of experience. This really is perfectly balanced pre-workout. You're going to get good pumps on this one. You really don't have to stack any pump products on top of this. You could, but you really don't have to. The pumps are very, very solid. You're going to have a little bit of that fullness from the glycerol powder. The citrulline mally does its thing. You're going to see the veins popping, and you're going to feel a little swole. You could stack pump capsules if you want, or glycerol if you kind of want to take things to the next level, but I wouldn't add any more citrulline to this. That's my opinion anyway. But in terms of energy, focus, motivation, and a nice, clean, good feeling mood, this has everything. So it's a really great pre-workout. And again, considering the fact that this big tub here comes in at $35 and even less when using my discount code, it's a steal, guys. It's a no-brainer. You're essentially going to be paying $30 for 20 whole servings of a really good high-end Stim Junkie Daily. So you can't go wrong with this one. You're going to get good energy for about 2.5, 3 hours, and then it's going to slowly dissipate. No crash, nothing like that. It's a very healthy, good-feeling pre-workout, and if you guys are afraid of Alpha Yo, I know there's certain people that just hear the name Alpha Yo and they're already running for the hills. You guys don't have to be afraid of this one. The Alpha Yo on here is definitely a lot smoother than 2.5 milligrams would lead you to believe. It really feels more like 1 or 1.5 milligrams of comparable products Alpha Yo. So overall, I really like this one, and I do appreciate the company sending this one my way for review. If you guys are interested in picking up Holy Energy from Omni, you can head over to NutriCartel.com and use the discount code ACE15 to save 15% off your entire order and help support the High Stim Ace YouTube channel. Thank you so much for tuning in, guys. That's all I have for you today, but stay tuned to the channel because I got a lot of crazy reviews coming your way. Some illicit products are going to be dropping reviews soon, so you guys better stay tuned. Subscribe right here to High Stim Ace. Like the video, comment below. Tell me if you've ever tried this one, or if not, are you planning on picking it up? It's a great value for money, guys, so definitely don't pass this one up because once they sell out, I don't know if they're going to have another run or not. I have no idea, guys, but I know it is available for the time being. If you guys are looking for something that's a little bit stronger than your typical daily driver, but also not quite as crazy as those insane illicits you guys are running, then this right here folds down the middle. It's good to cycle off to, and it's going to get the job done in the gym. Once again, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. I will see you all next time for the next High Stim pre-workout review. Take care, everybody, and have a great rest of the weekend. High Stim Ace, signing off.